What is going on, guys? This is Gainz Gaming, and today we are talking about building up your account as a free-to-play player. Here are my credentials. I used to be a free-to-play player, and so I know exactly what you're going through. And I personally have multiple accounts. I have many farm accounts. I have my alt free-to-play account that is a fully ranged account. And today, again, I am talking about what you should do to build up your account, because so many people come to me and they're like, I'm a free-to-play player. I use 5 marches. What should I do? What marches should I use? I'm like, dude, hold up. Wait a minute. You need to rework this, because you are not supposed to be running 5 marches as a free-to-play player. You absolutely should not be doing that, because you are going to trade so bad in the open field, because your marches are going to look like crap. They are going to have horrible gear. They're going to look like this on the open field, having 5 marches as a free-to-play player, especially when you first start. And that is one of the number one things I see people doing wrong when they first start playing, is they make multiple marches, and you should not be doing that. So instead, what you should do when you start the game is first try to figure out what troop type are you going to be going for. In my opinion, as my professional opinion as a former free-to-play player, is that you should look into infantry. And the reason why I say that is because infantry is the best troop type for free-to-play players. The gear is the easiest to obtain because you are able to unlock a lot of them in gold keys as well as in KVK. I can't show you right now, but you can unlock them in KVK in the Lost Kingdom shop. That's going to show up like right over there. But for free-to-play players, infantry is the number one no-brainer to go into because it is the easiest to do. Plus, you have some of the best commanders, not only in the early game, but also in the late game. So as a free-to-play player, you should be focusing on 1 march to start. Not 2, not 3, 1. And what you want to do is make that 1 march great. Don't make multiple decent marches. Make 1 great march. And the reason why I say that is because, yeah, you're going to get slower kills, but you're going to trade so much better. Because you could make this as a free-to-play player. Is it going to be hard? Yeah. Are you going to need multiple farm accounts and spend a ton of time? Yes. But this is 100% doable as a free-to-play player. Even within your first couple of Season of Conquest, it is 100% doable. And what you need to do is focus on, again, making 1 really good march. Not only with equipment, but also with armaments, with your formations. If you have multiple different marches, you're not going to have good armaments because you're trying to disperse them all over the place. So having 1 really good set of armaments, having 1 really good set of gear, having 1 fully maxed out march, both commanders' expertise, that is what you need. Not a ton of hosh-posh different commanders of 5-1-1-3, 5-2-2-1, 5-3-4-5. You need all of them expertise. You need them to actually be workable and usable. So as a free-to-play player, when you are saving up for Season of Conquest, because in my opinion, you should be saving for Season of Conquest when you first start playing the game. Don't buy into Season 2. Just spend your time building your account. And that might be controversial, but in my opinion, I don't think you should even be fighting in KVK 1 and 2. Because if you're serious about taking Season of Conquest seriously, maybe you're restarting and you're trying to build a free-to-play account that's competitive in Season of Conquest, don't fight in KVK 1 and 2. Just being blunt here, don't fight in KVK 1 and 2. Maybe fight a little bit, but not enough to, destroy your account in speed ups and in resources. Don't invest your sculptures into KVK 1 commanders. Don't invest them into your key commanders because it's not going to be worth it. Don't do that to yourself. Save for Season of Conquest. You will thank yourself later. So as a free-to-play player, your number 1 investment is Luce. 1000%. Luce is your number 1 investment. Your number 2 investment, as of right now, is BQ. BQ paired with Luce is the best pairing for infantry, not only for infantry, but in the game, in my opinion. I think this is the best pairing in Rise of Kingdoms as of right now, June of 2025. I'll update this video here again in the future, so if you're watching this way out in the future, look for an updated video because I will make an updated one about this, probably in early 2026 when we have more commanders coming out. But as of right now, Luce paired with BQ is your best option. BQ primary, Luce secondary. You're going to run with the pincer formation. You will unlock formations in Season of Conquest, so use the pincer formation. I currently still have the arch formation because I have not yet gone into KVK since the new pincer formation was released, but this is going to deal 10% more smite damage. So You're gonna deal a lot more damage with the pincer formation over the arch formation. So I still have to convert this over into pincer, but that's a project for another day. So Luce with BQ as the pincer formation, you're going to expertise both of these commanders. Yes, they are usable when they are not expertised, but you're running one march. You're starting it with one march. You're starting from ground zero. You're going to make a very, very good march, a great march, and you are going to expertise both Luce and BQ, starting with purple gear and then investing into legendary gear. Don't try to start with legendary. Start with purple, because you're going to get refunded the materials when you dismantle them. But when it comes to the gear, this is what I would recommend for a free-to-play player. I think this is a great setup. You're running with the Hope Cloak, which you can get from Crystal Keys. You're running with Eternal Knight that you get from Crystal Keys. And then you are running the set pair of the Eternal Empire for the 4 set. So you're going to run with the helmet, you're going to run with the Shield of the Eternal Empire weapon, and then the gloves and the boots. But this is an end game kind of thing. And then a horn and a ring, you can certainly do that. Or you could also go for, I actually don't even have it crafted. I didn't have enough materials. But you can also go for Greatest Glory and deal 5% more normal attack damage and put that instead of a ring. You certainly can do that because you're running with smite damage. So that's going to be a huge benefit to you. So you certainly could do that with a horn or with a ring. You could do either one. I would probably recommend the Horn of Fury because you want to, get enough rage to supply yourself. But this is going to be your first march. Now, you might be thinking, well, Gainz, what am I going to do about kills? Like, I'm not going to get any kills with one march. Yes, you are. Luce, 56 million kills. He is pretty much always my #1 commander every single KVK. He is absolutely phenomenal. He is always top on my list. So he is going to get you a ton of kills. And pair with BQ, again, that is going to be the best pairing with him. So going for Luce, BQ, having a good foundation of gear, and then also investing into armaments for the pincer formation for your first march. Now, once you have this march done, it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be all legendary here, but as soon as you're done with this and you are good with what you have for equipment, maybe you have a couple of purples in here, maybe you have the purple weapon, maybe you have the shield, the blue shield, maybe you have a different pair of the helmet or the boots, whatever. If you are good with where that is at, then and only then are you investing into a second march. And what I would recommend for that second march is cavalry. Cavalry is going to be the next best option for you. And the reason why is because archers suck. And that's me being blunt. That's me being very transparent. I don't like archers. I'm not a huge fan of archers. I think they are down in the toilet right now. Yes, we have some good archers here coming out that will kind of change the meta a little bit. Maybe bring archers back in a bit because it has some extra march speed. But at the end of the day, I don't think archers are in a great spot, especially for free-to-play players. Free-to-play players should avoid archers like they are the plague. Avoid archers. Do not invest in archers. Don't invest into YSG. I know people are going to get mad at me for saying that, but don't invest into YSG. Don't invest into any of these commanders. It's just not worth it for free-to-play. So cavalry is going to be your next best option. Now, you have a lot of different options with the Cavs. You have some new Cav commanders. You have some older Cav commanders. You have some really good ones. I think you really have 2 options when it comes to Cavs because you're running 2 marches at this point, right? You're making your second march. So Nevsky, I think he gets ruled out for this because his biggest benefit is when you're running multiple marches. When you're running like 5 marches, he's going to have a lot better benefit to that because you're surrounding more enemies. But if you only have 2 marches, you're not really getting that full benefit of Nevsky. So instead, I would recommend Hookabing, Joan of Arc, or Arthur. Those are your 3 options. Those are the other 3 best cavalry commanders in Rise of Kingdoms. And I would say that between these 3 marches, you have one constant, and that is Hookabing. Hookabing is going to be the pairing with one of these 2 commanders. So then you can decide, do I want to run with Joan of Arc or do I want to run with Arthur? And one thing I want you to consider is where cavalry is going, and that is toward combo attack damage. And Arthur has combo attack damage. So he is going to have a little bit more longevity based on what we see with Rise of Kingdoms compared to Joan of Arc, because Joan of Arc is just basic skill damage, and so is Hookabing. But the argument that you can make there is, well, Hookabing paired with Joan of Arc, you can just run wedge formation and you get the benefit from both of them. Whereas Arthur, you're doing combo attack damage. So it's not going to be as much damage because you're not getting the benefit from the combo attack damage if you're running the Delta formation. So again, it kind of depends on if you want to run Delta or if you want to run Wedge. However, one thing you have to consider is that if you run Wedge, you're doing 5% more skill damage. But if you run Delta, you're doing 10% more combo attack damage. So you get a bigger benefit from the Delta formation. So maybe you go with Hookah Bing and you go with Arthur and you run Delta. Maybe you go with Hookah Bing and you go with Joan of Arc and you run Wedge. It really depends on where you want to go in terms of your armaments. But when it comes to your gear, again, you're making something that's great, not just good, not just decent. You're trying to make something really, really good. Now, again, you don't need to start with Legendary. I would not recommend that, but you don't want to be fielding something with green gear or mostly blue gear. It's just not going to work out for you, especially in Season of Conquest, because you're going to be fighting marches that look like this. If you have all blue and green gear, you're going to get wrecked. Like, respectfully, you're going to get wrecked, especially as a free-to-play with no crystal tech, horrible gear, probably bad armaments. Like, you don't want to field that. And you shouldn't field this until you are ready to field it. Until it looks like your other march that you were like, yep, I'm good with this. I'm good with where it's at. Then you field it. You don't start fielding your second march immediately. You field it when you are ready to field it. And I'm trying to give you some tough love here because in my personal experience, I was a free-to-play player. I was running 4 or 5 marches. I was running 3 infantry, 1 archer, 1 cavalry. All of them had green and blue and like a couple legendary gear. But it was just a really bad situation because they looked like this, essentially. I had even some things missing because I was like, well, I don't have the materials for that, but I want to field another march. I just want another march out there, and they looked like this. And like I had stuff missing, and it was awful. I didn't have accessories. I didn't have anything on there. So it was not a good situation. I traded much worse than I should have, and I'm trying to help you avoid that. So you want to make sure you are investing into great, not just good marches. So I hope that helps you out. If you have any other questions, comment them down below. And as always, you can reach me in game or on Discord for any other questions. I'm always happy to get requests for videos because it gives me some ideas of content to make. Like this video was an idea from a comment that I got on a YouTube video from a couple weeks ago. So I made a video on it. So if you have any other questions that you want answers to, comment them on any of my videos, specifically this one, but any other videos, DM me in game, on Discord, whatever, and I might potentially make a video on it in the future. So if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, drop a like and subscribe for more Rise of Kingdoms content, completely free for you and helps me out tremendously. Again, thank you guys for checking out this video, and I will see you in the next one.